Hi guys, it is Mandy from Mandyleeplays, and in today's video, we are doing a before you buy. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these types of videos, but today we are going to be looking at Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. But as usual, is it worth the $60? Well, I'll let you guys know. But before we get into the video, as always, if you end up liking the video and found it helpful, please hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel and would love to see more JRPG content, please consider subscribing, would appreciate it. And lastly, hit that hype button if you want to. Dragon Quest VII originally came out for the PlayStation 1, and there has been other remakes of this game. The more popular one is the 3DS version of Dragon Quest VII, but now we are getting the best edition of the game with this reimagined package. Let's start off with the consoles, the pricing, and specific technical details. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is a multi-platform game, so roll call. It is coming out for the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and the PC. This game is Mr. Worldwide, or Mr. Platform-wide, and they're all priced reasonably at $60. Well, reasonably in 2026 lingo. At least it's not $70, am I right? Of course, this being a Square game, one thing to note is that the Switch 2 version is indeed a keycard version. And you can't make the argument that it's because of space like Final Fantasy VII Integrate, because get this, the game size is a total of 6 gigabytes. And Square is forever not beating the allegations of cheaping out when it comes to their games on the Switch 2. And to add to this, unfortunately, the Switch 1 game, you can't upgrade it to a Switch 2 version. Even Square said it themselves in this Q&A where they specifically stated there will be no Switch 2 upgrade. Boo! Also found in this Q&A is the fact that your save won't transfer from Switch 1 to Switch 2. So if you played the demo on the Switch 1 and then you get a Switch 2, yeah, you can't transfer the save data, which is honestly not really that big of a deal for me. Just play the demo again. But it's another example how they could have made things just easier, but they didn't. So those are all the consoles that Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is going to be on. So now it's time for the technical details. Starting with the switches, the game runs at 720 30 FPS on the Switch 1. I'm assuming docked and handheld. And judging by what some journalists and YouTubers say, the Switch 1 version does suffer from frame rate drops, which is kind of understandable. I mean, the Switch 1 is kind of almost 8 years old, but I am hoping for the best. While the Switch 2 runs at 1080p 60 FPS. As for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, the game runs at 4K 60 FPS, no complaints there. And for the PC, I will put here a screenshot of the minimal recommendation specs, all sourced from Steam. Not only that, there is a Switch Deck version too. Editing Mandy here, did I say Switch Deck? I meant the Steam Deck. My bad. Right now it says the game is playable, and you can also play the demo on the Steam Deck, and it ran really good. But I'm basing this mostly on the demo and from what I've read on the internet, so the full game could come out and run like garbage, though I highly doubt that would be the case. Now moving on from that, let's get into the game, starting with the setting and the plot. So it's been said through multiple people and multiple sources that the game could run you at least 100 hours, and the reimagined version is actually the slimmed version of the original games, which is crazy. I'm not sure if this includes side quests, post-game, and doing everything, or if it's just like the standard story. We don't know yet. So what is this long game about? It all starts in this town of Picard Bay, which is located in Esterd Island, where the protagonist was born and raised. Kiefer, the prince of the land, and the protagonist are wondering why they are the only island in this vast ocean of the world. And this is where the curiosity starts to take the best of them, as when the protagonist's father comes back home from fishing with a mysterious stone fragment, they start to put the pieces together. And then the duo figures out this mysterious sealed ruin that is connected to the islands. And ooh, adventure time! Kind of like how Kingdom Hearts is, basically. Anyways, by placing the fragments in the ruin's pedestal, the characters are transported back into the past in a different world. Oh, and then there's Maribel. I don't like her character. I know she's supposed to be a kid and a bratty one, but oh my god, some of her dialogue I just find so insufferable.
You're still not going to tell me what you're up to? Heading home. My mother must be worried sick, which means I'll probably never hear the end of this. Thanks for nothing, you two. It's really not helping the mood. Ugh! Whatever this place is, I hate it already!
Hopefully there's character growth for her. Please have a good character arc. Please. The goal of the party is to solve the problems that trap this island and restore it to its present time. Obviously, there's more to the story, seeing as the game is like over 100 hours, but I don't really know it. But I still wanted to give you a good synopsis of the adventure, and hopefully I did. So we went over the synopsis of the story, but I do want to go over why this game is called Dragon Quest VII Reimagined and not really remake, and that is because there's a lot of cut content. But don't get it twisted, it's not the bad kind of cut content, it's the shaving down of fat type of cut content. But I still want to go over the differences between the original and the reimagined version. Now I'm going to refer to the Dragon Quest wiki and the Twisted Vortex article to help me with this portion. I'm leaning towards yeah, it sucks, but for the sake of brevity, it kinda had to happen. And this is to make the game more concise and impactful. Keep in mind, these decisions were made under the consultation of Yuri Horii, who is the actual scenario writer for this game. And even with cutting the fat, the game is still pretty long. And I shudder to think the length of the original. So the cut regions include Grandal, El Chilio, and the province, and by extension, the excellent grading organization. The Heaven, the Monster Meadow, and the casino have been cut. Now I've seen a lot of contention when it comes to the casino, which I love any casino area in any game, so the fact that they cut it is kind of confusing. Now I've heard that the casino offers the best gear, but I feel like they're just gonna take the best gear and put it somewhere else. But with all this, I am very intrigued to see how people are gonna like the reimagined version versus the original version. And at the end of the day, if you really don't like the changes, you could always just play the original. Now you're probably thinking, man, they cut a lot of stuff out. Where's the content? Why is the game still over 100 hours? Well, they actually added content as well. And in this section, I'm gonna go through it. First, for the new content, there's a new scenario that elaborates on the childhood of the hero and Maribel. Now, besides my thoughts on the character, this was probably put in because it wasn't fleshed out as much in the original game. So yeah, I'm loving this new direction of more character-focused stories in Dragon Quest games. Also, to replace the casino is the battle arena, which as the name states, basically tests your skills in battle. And there is actually a twist in the battle area because it lets you fight the final bosses of the Urgic trilogy, which the game refers to them as the Demon Kings. This includes the Dragon Lord from Dragon Quest I, Marloth from Dragon Quest II, and Zoma from Dragon Quest III. And because the lack of casino as well, the lucky panel minigame is back too, giving you a chance to obtain rare items. So now on to the classic, the epic gameplay. This game is your traditional turn-based JRPG. And out of all the things in this reimagined version, they didn't really touch the gameplay as much. And honestly, I don't blame them. Dragon Quest gameplay is always very simple and fun and addicting. But like any good JRPG that relies on a very traditional turn-based mechanic, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined also offers a twist. In this case, it's the vocation system, which is like the job system in any other JRPG, which at the time only appeared in Dragon Quest III and Dragon Quest VI. In the game, the vocations are separated by different tiers depending how powerful they are, with the beginning tiers having Dancer, Jester, Warrior, and Thief. You know, the typical starting classes. Then we go into advanced classes, which require you to master the beginner classes. And then there's finally the ultimate vocation class, which is the most powerful classes in the game. And yeah, you probably can't get this unless you master the beginner classes and the advanced classes. Though sadly, if anybody cared, there is no monster wrangler class. Although there is a new feature in the gameplay called Moonlighting, where a player can equip a second vocation in addition to the primary one, which provides a ton of tactical depth never before seen in a Dragon Quest game or the original game. And that's one of the big changes that a lot of people are celebrating, including me. And I'm excited to see everybody's different playstyle, which classes are broken, which are the best when it comes to money, etc, etc. And when I was playing the demo, there's also a little feature that I don't think was in the original, but they have a let loose system. It's a lot like the limit break system from Final Fantasy games, where you could just, you know, go all out. Alrighty, now on to my favorite part, and that is quality of life changes. I love me some good quality of life changes. And thankfully, there's a whole list of them. So let's get to it. First is the difficulty option. You have the usual easy, medium, and hard. But there is a neat feature which I loved in the demo, and that is customizing your difficulty. So basically, you're tailor-making your own difficulty option, which is really, really cool. You could adjust the damage dealt, experience, and proficiency earned, along with how much gold you could acquire after battle. On top of that, you could adjust the monster's strength and the monster's activity in battle, along with restoring HP after battle. And yeah, while I do think that some options are game breaking, I personally won't break my game like that. I like a little bit of challenge, but I love that the option is still there. I am no gatekeeping elitist. I'm all here for playing the games how you like them, because it's a game, you're supposed to enjoy it. Moving on though, the next quality of life change is that they sped up the animation scenes. And plus, that makes grinding easier and enjoyable. And if your characters are over leveled, the enemies in that area won't attack you. You can actually attack them but not go into a battle. Next is the inclusion of auto battling, which honestly helps a lot with grinding. And also the menus themselves have been revamped to make the menus a more tab-based system, similar to most modern JRPGs. And also you can actually see the enemy's weaknesses in battle. Now on to the miscellaneous points. These are the points where I can't put anywhere else, so I'm putting them here. Now this one in particular is quite interesting, and that is the character models. So Square contacted a local doll maker studio, Studio Nova, to create the dolls and scan them into the game, which is very cool. And according to Game Informer, the director Masato Yagi wanted it to be this way because, and I quote, "When you look at the original designs from Akira Toriyama when compared to the other Dragon Quest character designs, the characters of Dragon Quest VII are drawn in a short scale. I think that really matched the unique aesthetic of the storytelling in Dragon Quest VII. The dolls really meshed well together." End quote. Personally though, I don't really like the doll aesthetic, especially with Kiefer. But overall, the other characters look fine and the world looks beautiful, so I guess that's our trade-off. So that is the end, and I hope this video helps you guys determine whether you should buy Dragon Quest VII Reimagined or not. Tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, or are you gonna get it and are excited for it, or if you're not getting it at all. If you found this video helpful, then please hit that like button, would appreciate it. And if you like this channel and videos like this, please consider subscribing, I would appreciate it. And also hit that hype button so the video gets around. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful rest of the day, and as always, play a good game. Peace.